how hard is it to write code? It's really easy if you know where to write it. So let me address the three main areas where you could work on as a software code writer, whatever. So the first thing is the database, which is the place where all the information gets stored. And you have like 4 types of operations: creation, retrieval, updating, and deleting, called CRUD. Yeah, that's it. And it really is quite straightforward. I'm quite sure that anybody who understands Excel spreadsheets can really quite easily, in a matter of days or maybe even hours, understand the basic principles behind the database. Okay, so once you get that, you move on to the business logic. And business logic is so it could be really complicated. If you look at somebody else's code, like somebody else's business logic, it could look really complicated, and it will be really complicated. It'll be super hard to understand and super hard to comprehend. But it can also not be like that. It can be quite easy to understand, quite logically laid out. It can have a structure to it. It can have a, let's say, immutability. I don't know why I mentioned that word, but yeah, it's a good word. Anyway, so business logic is rather, it's like language, like a language, you can either speak the language or not. So you should really get fluent in writing business logic the language of choice that I use and we use is C#, and I believe you should too. How hard is it? Well, it's relatively hard, but you could get productive in a matter of, let me say, weeks. If you spend an hour a day for maybe a month or something, you could get good at it. But again, this doesn't involve infrastructure related stuff where you have to set up your servers and stuff. That really belongs to a separate space, and you have to have someone who will take care of that. And you should really be focusing on writing the business logic, not the infrastructure, okay? Infrastructure is a different beast. Okay, what's the next thing? It's the user interface. And the user interface is what gets presented to the user. Ta-da! So what is it? It's the way of presenting the information that you have stored in the database to the user. And then storing the information that your user inputs into the interface back into the database through the transition of the logic, business logic, that has been put in the middle of your software. Okay? That's it. That's how simple it is. It's really quite simple. Thank you. Bye.